Tools preparation. Use scissors to cut off the packing cable ties and remove the outer packing carton. Use scissors to cut off the cable ties and remove the front wheel. Place it aside for later use. Use scissors to cut off the cable ties of the accessory box, remove the accessory box, and place it aside for later use. Cut off the securing cable ties at the upper triple clamp. Attach the M14 socket to the electric wrench and remove all mounting bolts at the bottom of the packaging iron frame. Carefully remove the upper part of the packaging iron frame. Remove the protective film and EPE foam. Use scissors to remove the left and right side plates of the fuel tank and place them aside for later use. Use scissors to cut off the front fender. Lift the vehicle body slightly and remove the fender. Place it aside for later use. Use scissors to remove the front headlight. Place it aside for later use.
Cut off the securing cable ties at the rear shock absorber, side stand, footrest teeth, swing bracket, and swing arm on the swing arm. Then remove the EPE foam and place the side stand aside for later use.
Cut off the securing cable ties on the upper and lower parts of the handlebar. Use scissors to remove the packaging of the instrument and ignition switch. Untie the fixing straps on the left and right sides. Press the strap buckles to easily remove them. Use a 17mm box end wrench to hold the front wheel axle in place. Then use a 19mm box end wrench to unscrew the front wheel axle nut. Subsequently, remove the front wheel axle and front wheel spacer, set them aside for later use, and finally lift the vehicle onto the repair stand. Remove the accessory packaging and take out the accessories. Install 2 lower pressure blocks and take 4 black zinc-plated hexagon socket head cap screws. Align the lower pressure block with the mounting holes of the upper triple clamp. Pass the black zinc-plated hexagon socket head cap screws through the mounting holes of the ignition switch bracket. Insert the bolts upward from the bottom of the triple clamp to connect the lower pressure block, and then thread the 2 bolts by hand. After all the lower pressure blocks are fully installed and positioned, tighten the bolts with a hexagon socket wrench. Install the handlebar.
Take 2 upper pressure blocks and 4 stainless steel hexagon socket head cap screws. Adjust the angle of the handlebar, place the 2 upper pressure blocks on the lower pressure blocks, and then thread the screws into place. For normal installation, it is necessary to remove the protective film on the handlebar. However, we will not demonstrate the removal process here to avoid scratching the handlebar. Use a hexagon socket wrench to tighten the bolts of the upper pressure blocks.
Connect the connector on the instrument panel to the connector of the speed sensor wire. Connect the connector of the right side function. Switch to the matching connector on the main wiring harness. Use an open-end wrench to unscrew the lock nut and flat washer under the instrument panel. Remove the 2 rubber sleeves on the instrument panel. Face the small end of the rubber sleeve downward and install it onto the instrument panel bracket attached to the upper triple clamp. Insert the instrument panel into the mounting holes of the rubber sleeves and thread the previously removed lock nuts and flat washers on by hand. Then tighten the nuts with an open-end wrench. Use a socket wrench to remove the 4 front fender mounting bolts on the lower triple clamp. Install the front fender. Place 1 flat washer onto each bolt. Insert the bolts into the mounting holes of the front fender. Use a socket wrench to mount the front fender to the front fender bracket. Secure the front fender with an M8 socket using the 2 bolts at the bottom, then tighten the 4 bolts. Install the front headlight. Connect the headlight connector to the headlight connector on the main wiring harness. Install the front, left, and right turn signals. Disconnect the turn signals from the main wiring harness. Unscrew the turn signal nuts. Remove the turn signal nuts. Pass the turn signal with orange and green power wires through the left mounting hole of the headlight. Pass the turn signal power wires through the nut. Tighten the nuts. Install the turn signal with blue and green wires on the right side using the same method as the left side. Insert the 2 green power wires into the connector with green wire. Insert the orange wire into the orange connector. Insert the blue wire into the blue connector. Pull out the water sleeve, wrap it around the connector, and then tighten the cable tie to secure it. Use a Phillips screwdriver to unscrew the Phillips self-tapping screw on the left side of the headlight. Remove the fuel line clip on the headlight cover. Place the brake fuel line and speed sensor wire into the mounting groove of the fuel line clip. Snap back the fuel line clip. Screw the Phillips self-tapping screw back into the mounting hole to secure the fuel line clip. Insert the locating pins under the headlight cover into the 2 locating holes on the upper part of the front fender. When installing the headlight strap, pass the strap through the inner side of the shock absorber, then tighten and fasten it. Cut off the cable tie at the front brake caliper. Use an M10 socket to remove the front brake lower caliper. Route the front brake fuel line to the inner side of the shock absorber. Refit the front brake caliper back to the base mounting point of the left front shock absorber. Install the front wheel. Remove the front wheel axle nut, front wheel spacer, and flat washer. Pre-install the front wheel spacers into the front wheel oil seals. Remove the limit plate inside the front brake caliper. Align brake disc with brake pad gap. Push front wheel to slide disc into gap. Lift the front wheel with your right hand and pass the front wheel axle through the mounting hole of the right shock absorber of the vehicle. Screw the flat washer and nut of the front wheel axle onto the axle by hand. Secure front wheel axle with M17 box end wrench. Use M19 box end wrench to turn and tighten front wheel axle nut. Use an M6 hex key and an M10 open-end wrench to remove the fixing bolt and nut underneath the fuel line clip. Loosen upper bolt and nut to allow front brake fuel line into fuel line clip opening. Place the front brake fuel line into the fuel line clip, then tighten the clip. Install the swing arm. Move the two nuts of the bolt. Lift the rear wheel to align the triangular swing arm with the lower mounting hole of the rear shock absorber. Insert the shock absorber bolt into the mounting hole from the right side, with the large end of the bolt facing downward. Screw on lock nut. Lift rear wheel to align swing arm fork mounting hole with triangular swing arm hole. Insert swing arm fork bolt from left side to connect swing arm fork and triple swing arm. Screw on self-locking nut. Tighten the shock absorber nut with an M17 open-end wrench. Secure the swing arm fork nut with an M14 open-end wrench. Tighten the swing arm fork bolt with an M13 socket. Insert rear turn signal into rear taillight bracket mounting hole. Screw on nut, light facing backward, then tighten securely. Install the side stand. Remove the side stand mounting bolt. Align the side stand mounting hole with that on the frame, then thread in the mounting bolt. Tighten the side stand bolt with an M17 socket. Tighten the component first, then reinstall the hex nut and tighten it with an M16 box end wrench. Hang the side stand spring on the side stand hanger point of the frame. Then use a screwdriver to hook spring onto side stand's spring hanger point. Wear gloves to avoid injury during spring installation. Use an M10 socket to remove the seat fastening bolt and flat washer underneath the rear fender. Pull off the seat backward. Take 4 hexagon socket button head bolts and 2 pan head bolts. Install the right front side panel. Insert the positioning tab at the rear of the side panel into the positioning hole of the rear side panel. Press the side panel firmly to align the mounting holes. Use an M5 hex key to thread the hexagon socket button head bolt into the mounting hole and secure the side panel. Finally, tighten the bolts. Install hexagon socket pan head bolt at the side panel's frontmost position with M4 hex key. Insert the positioning hole at the rear of the left side panel onto the positioning tab of the rear side panel. Use the same installation method as the right side panel, then secure the left side panel with a wrench. Hold the nut on the front side panel bracket in place with an M10 open-end wrench. Then remove the bolt and nut with an M8 socket. Rotate the bracket into an upward position. Align the mounting holes of the front side panel bracket with those of the side panel, feed the bolt back through, and tighten the nut. The right bracket uses the same installation method as the left one. Remove the protective cover from the battery. Remove the power connection bolts and nuts attached to the battery. Carefully place the nut into the power connection socket. Pass the bolt through the mounting hole of the power cable and tighten it with a Phillips screwdriver. Black power cable, negative. Red power cable, positive. Install by color, then slide the power cable's protective rubber sleeve over the installation point. Press down the power cable and stow the wire harness. Align with the seat cushion slot. Press down the front part of the seat cushion, push the seat cushion forward, and engage it with the slot. Use an M10 socket to tighten the seat cushion mounting bolt and resecure the seat cushion. Install the chest protector and breathing tube. Peel off the Velcro to remove the chest protector cover and install it under the handlebar. Align chest protector sponge with upper pressure block. Press down and rewrap the cover. Plug the breathing tube into the fuel tank cap. Place breathing tube into frame. Tighten cable ties to secure. Tube needs ventilation. Do not over-tighten ties. Install the rearview mirror. Screw the left rearview mirror onto the upper left mounting point for the rearview mirror on the clutch lever bracket. The angle can be adjusted via the nut above. Remove the plug from the front brake lever's mirror mounting base. Screw in the right rearview mirror, adjust the angle, and tighten to lock. Turn on the ignition switch and check if the vehicle is powered on and if the lights function properly.